Hey guys, it's Saru, and I know that this has been asked of me quite a bit, but I finally decided to release this Sky Cruiser guide, and I didn't really want to because it's not with my guild, and I didn't mention this in a previous video. I do like doing videos with my guild, but I was invited to this random party with some cool people, and I decided to record it. And players do need it. A lot of players have been asking me on comments or on Discord or just emailing me, which is a little crazy, but apparently people need it. Maybe. I don't know. Before I begin, make sure to join my Discord to chat with me and know when new videos come up. As well, you can help me with ideas on upcoming videos. Also, I wanted to shout out some beautiful content creators that stream TERA console. They must be shouted out. I must. It is my duty. So I'm gonna do 5, and I'd like to do this from here on out and just kind of promote that kind of positivity, getting players to see other content creators, because, I mean, let's be real, there's a lot of cool people out there that don't really have that much recognition. So I'm just gonna do 5 people for now. Hefe Ryu Jin. This guy is funny. He's on Twitch. Check him out. That's about it. Sin Fairy. She's nice. She's special, but nice. She's on Twitch as well. Okay. Thiji. I recommend this gorgeous man. He is truly a next level streamer. Beautiful man. Ice FC17. I love this guy. And lastly, Schnucks Almighty. It's not a probably here, but he definitely will be my next husband. Check these guys out. All the links are in the description below if you want to click them directly, and they are on the screen, unless I've edited this entirely wrong. So, sorry if you're listening to this. You, or me, us, need to add those names. Anyways guys, like I said, check these guys out on Twitch. I genuinely enjoy watching them profusely. Okay, that's that. Let's get into the guide. Now again, this is just a mechanic guide like the previous guides that I've done, so I will only get into the bosses and their mechanics. However, the first part of this dungeon will have monsters spawned for the first 6 minutes. This is going to be important. So once you start, there's going to be Democrons that you want to kill. Within the 2-minute mark, 3 to 5 archers will spawn, and you want to kill them as fast as possible. The screen will say Blood Wrath reinforcements appear, so you want to kill them quickly. As for the next 4 minutes, there's going to be just more and more mobs coming in. 4 minutes into the whole thing, a priest and 2 warriors will appear, and you'll need to focus on the priest to kill it as fast as possible. She can heal the other monsters, so you know, logically you want to kill her first. If at the 6-minute mark you have failed to kill all the monsters that are still alive, they're going to remain shielded, and they're going to continuously attack you until the main boss, Putrion or Putrion, I don't know, is dead. So during this entire phase, Paramos, which is the big motherfucker in the back, it'll say Paramos is gathering energy for an attack and shoot lasers at you, because why the f not? It doesn't really follow players, and it's indicated by the purple aggro underneath you, so ideally tanks. Hi baby cakes if you're watching. You should tank the mobs near Paramos himself to make dodging lasers a lot more easier for the rest of your party. So once this is done, Putrion will be summoned and he'll come out of the darkness like a creeper. He's just a normal monster for some reason. He's not a boss. Quite frankly, he's just disguised as a boss because his mother told him that all his life he would be someone great, and well, this is what you get, kids. If you did Massalaria's Catacombs and fought Chimeras, I assume you did if you reached 65 or followed my guide, now available on YouTube. He has the exact same mechanics as him, but I'll repeat it just in case. His slash is essentially when he goes into the air like he's part of the United States Space Force. Yes, I did just say that. He'll slash the ground in an AoE formation. That means area of effect, friends, which is about 15 meters in front of him. Either stay away from him or get very close to him. If you do get hit, it'll hurt quite a bit and you'll be stunned. Healers, you can cleanse this. However, if you are stunned for too long, Putrion will focus his next attack on you, so cleanse this as fast as possible. He does do an additional stun where he basically does this big circle around him, and I mean, if you've seen in my previous videos, then you know to stay the fuck away from the red. If you're caught, he'll hurt you like a depressing relationship and stun you like you just got back into that relationship. Same rules apply. If you're stunned, he'll focus the next attack on you, so cleanse it as fast as possible. If you have purple ring underneath you, he may charge at you, which basically he'll just run over you. I have no more similes for this, so don't get hit. The last thing he does is he gets into the air like a proud Power Ranger and he just thrusts forward, similar to the thrust that Lackalith does, or shadowing, perhaps. That's literally it. Now the second boss, Paramos. He's a beautiful man. Now, this is similar to Ruinous Manor in the sense that the crystals cannot be all destroyed, or wiperino pepperino. Put that in the hashtags, friends. I'll mention some gunner things here because, well, it comes down in less than a week, so it's probably going to be relevant then. So the Aeonalis pylons, or pretty crystals as I call them, they're precious. Protect them at all costs or leave the party immediately. If you cannot protect them, you need to leave. It'll say that Paramos is trying to destroy a pretty crystal. What you want to do, good sirs and ladies, or whatever over 9,000 genders you identify as, is literally stand where he's aiming, together. Take the damage in order to nullify some of the damage that will go to the crystal. So instead of hitting it for the full damage that the laser will attack, it will hit about 30% of the health of the crystal if the whole party is there. There will be a debuff afterwards, so your healer needs to cleanse it as fast as possible and then heal. Again, if he breaks the entire crystals around the room, your party will wipe. This is important. Do not use any damage negating ability like Warp Barrier or Kaya's Shield. You will take no personal damage, but the divided damage that's supposed to be shared among your party members will be more, and the rest of your party will get hit for way more, and so will the crystal. Here's the tip that I was going to mention with the Gunner or Mystic. The more players in front of the laser, the less damage players will take. So Mystic Thralls, Warrior, Smoke Aggressor, or the Gunner's Turret ST4 will count as an extra body to soak up some of the damage, which means players will take less damage. Again, shielding skills will only make it worse. So from 100% HP to 70% HP, every 50 seconds he will do the purple lasers, which is the one I just mentioned. However, starting at 69% to 30%, he'll do 2 consecutive lasers, meaning he'll do one and then he'll do it again. So healers, you need to be on point, cleanse as fast as possible, and just massively heal everybody. If you're a priest, I 100% recommend using your healing immersion because you're going to need that 100k HP heal. After 30%, he'll do 2 red lasers consecutively, which is different from the purple one that I just mentioned, instead of 1. However, the second one will be aimed at the person that's furthest away from the boss, so you want to dodge that. It is 70,000 flat damage, so you don't want to get hit by that. Now, when Paramos says, small things, so bothersome, I'll kill, well, you need to move out of the way of any pretty crystals. So if you see any crystals around you, you want to go in between one so you don't actually hit it, because he's going to shoot a laser at you and you don't want that laser to hit a crystal. So you can iframe the laser, but it's not blockable. So don't try to block it. You'll know it's you if it's a purple ring as usual, so the laser is going to be orange-ish. Okay, Blast Wave. When he says get back, he'll use his inner power of Super Saiyan to deal a wave of damage in a cone formation. You just have to stand behind him and you'll be fine. Don't know how that works. Swipe is when Paramos will remove his arm for some godforsaken reason and use it as a weapon. He'll just swipe the arm side to side 4 times while moving forward. Slam is when he's going to attack the ground once and then he's going to do it 4 times afterwards. Similar to what Shadow Sanguinary does, so if you've done this already, and hopefully you've done it for your Guile pieces, so you're not just doing Sky Cruiser for some crazy reason, it's essentially the same thing. He's just going to attack the ground 4 times. The third attack, however, you can be behind him and not get hit, and the 4th attack will hit for more, so keep that in mind. Now, Web. So Paramos does exactly what Shadow Sanguinary does with the first boss. He'll get on his knees, pray to Mother RNG, and attack the ground in a formation. It'll do some damage and have a movement speed debuff. It is cleansable, but you might just want to stay away from it. And lastly, if Paramos is too far from the middle, this is very important, guys. You have to keep him in the middle. If he's too far from the middle, he'll slam his arm into the ground and yell, "Pylons, so very fragile." Probably not in that voice. And destroy a pylon with either the web attack or swipe attack I just mentioned. So keep him in the middle. That's it. Now Darkan. Can I just not do this guy? I don't like him.
You have to. By the way, my name is Gufymike, so you should do this. Okay?
Fine. So Darkan. My suggestion is just to start attack and get him to 90% as fast as possible, and then his true form will appear. When he does do this, you want to get to the gate to rebuff and just prepare again, because this is when it starts all over again. At 94% health, there's going to be fire around the arena, so don't touch that, please. 54 and 25%, the fire will get closer and closer to the middle. Don't touch the fire, like I just said, or you'll die. You can't be revived by a priest or mystic because you'll just insta-die. You're gonna have to self-res somehow. Now, I usually don't like mentioning combos because you guys should probably learn this on your own, but it may be worth mentioning. If he attacks with his left sword, left being in the rear view, so DPS if you're looking him, literally your left, he'll proceed with 2 normal attacks and then a fire wing. So what is fire wing? The fire wing is what you need to be paying attention to, because where his weapon lands is what determines whether you live or die. For example, if his weapon is raised to the right, you want to go all the way to his left. If it's raised to the left, you want to go all the way to his right. I'll use this cute gift provided by Essential Mana to demonstrate it. One more time, everybody. If his weapon is raised to the right, you want to go to his left. And if it's raised to the left, you want to go to the right. Left is right, right is left. You'll probably fuck this up like I did. Now, if you get hit by it, you'll be pushed to the edge of the map with a fire bleeding effect. This cannot be cleansed. Fire bleeding effects cannot be cleansed, but they can be healed. So be careful with that, I guess. If Darkan attacks with his right sword first, he will proceed to attack normally with his left sword and then do a fire swipe backwards, and then an empowered strike as well. Whenever I'm mentioning left or right, I'm talking from DPS point of view. If Darkan does decide to attack twice with empowered strikes consecutively, he'll do 2 fire swipes backwards and then 1 fire charge forwards. What does this all mean? What are these terms? Who am I? Well, fire slam is when Darkan decides to do some ballet and twirl into the air, and then he'll slam into the ground and do some good old kaboom. For you to be safe, you need to be about 18 meters away from him. He can do this multiple times in a row, followed by a backstep. There's also fire circles, which is when Darkan gets a little shy. He hides his sword. He'll get into the air and then, I'm starting to see a pattern here. And then he'll put circles underneath everybody. You want to go to the edge of the map and then iframe out of it right before it hits. Rings of fire. If you've done the Little Keep, this is somewhat the same thing. Again, just stay away from the red. There is, however, a pattern to this. So this is before the ghost phase. Should explain that this pattern is before the ghost phase, which I'll explain what ghost phase is after this. So there's 2 ways that this can go about. He'll either do the inner and mid, that will be safe, and then the outside being red, then the inner and the outside being safe with the middle being red. You'll figure this out from here, I guess, from this image. The second thing is that it can go 2 different ways. So I'll just leave this up for 5 seconds and let you guys do the work and figure it out. Okay, bye. Enjoy. Okay, so Ghostface is when Darkan decides to summon little spirits. At 75 and 50% health, he'll say, "The fire will consume you," in some weird seductive way. I literally mean the text on the screen. The room will turn red because that's normal, obviously, and then the ghost will spawn. And he'll target a person with the highest aggro and say, "Bro, you dead," and just attack. You'll need to attack this and kill it as fast as possible. If you do not kill it quickly, the party will take a pretty big amount of damage and probably just die. However, at 50%, he'll summon 2 ghosts instead. So what you want to do is stun or CC both minions, as each hit that they do is about 50,000 damage. If you're a healer, I recommend that you can aggro with a heal. You just heal somebody and you'll get the aggro and get 1 ghost, and then you can sleep him. After that, you can drag the other ghost to try to be on top of him, so you can stack them on top of one another and just kind of begin to CC it over and over again and just attack them, so the party will destroy them both at the same time. They will enrage at 30% health themselves, but like anything, you can just force them to be enraged if you're a tank. Okay, so sword throw. Sometimes Darkan will throw his swords because he has issues, and then he'll just pull them back. If you're a healer and you're casting resurrection, he's gonna yell, "Your time is running out," and do this. So keep that in mind. It will cause a fire bleeding effect. Again, it can't be cleansed. 2 other things is that if Darkan hits his toe on the ground, he'll scream from the top of his lungs, which will cause a debuff to the players. It is cleansable and it is blockable, but if you do block it, you still will get damage. Right before the debuff, he's going to do a silence where players can't use their skills. What you want to do is that right before the silence part of the scream, want to be near the players and cleanse everybody. So if you do this, it'll go pretty nice. One thing to note is he'll go on the ground and he'll throw his weapons on the ground as well, so it's kind of a good way to prepare for it. For fire charge, he'll spin, charge towards a random player and just kind of cause damage. It won't push the player, but it will cause damage. This will always happen after he does the fire swipe twice. What is a fire swipe? Well, he'll do a 180-degree clockwise swipe and hurt anybody behind him, and it'll do a fire bleeding effect. There's 2 things that it'll do, maybe. He'll do the fire swipe and then 2 normal attacks after, if he starts with the right sword. His strike is when he will turn his weapon into a Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Kaioken. Slam the weapon into the ground and then just, strike. It'll apply a fire bleeding debuff to everybody. Honestly, just assume that anything he does will give you a fire bleeding debuff. Just dodge everything. He will do this if you notice the purple aggro ring, so please just dodge everything. When he says dodge this, which honestly this was not a segue into this part, he'll do 3 consecutive fire wings attacks. Each wing is different, and it's not like before with what I said with the fire wings. There's no pattern to it. It may be left or right, so you just have to pay attention to where his swords are. He'll say "I," followed by his first fire wing, which again will be left or right. Then he'll say "will" with another fire wing, and lastly, but firmly with love and compassion, say "obliterate you," and do the 3rd attack. The very last thing to note is that after he has 25% health, he'll say, "I'll show you my true power." Yes, just like that, sassy and everything. And he'll just enrage, dealing more damage. He will have a 3-minute counter. If and only if your party doesn't kill him within those 3 minutes, the party will wipe. He'll only do basic combos and fire wings, the empowered strikes, and sword throws. That's it. So you have 3 minutes to kill him. So that's it for Sky Cruiser. I want to thank my guild for letting me know some of these details before I said it on video, so I didn't embarrass myself. Along with essentialmana.com if you want amazing guides guides and gear sets and all that stuff, that is the place to go. It helped me shape this one, which basically is the same thing, quite frankly. I hope this video helped you guys. Share it around if it did, like the video if you liked it, subscribe and click that bell to know when I upload a brand new video. And if you have any questions about the dungeon, let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys, and as always, till next time, friends.